Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we're continuing Stardew Valley. Last time we moved in to our new farm out near Pelican Town, got ourselves introduced to most of the community around here, and got started working on our farm by growing some crops and just getting to know our surroundings. So yeah, our first stream session was very tutorial focused. This time we're going to be getting more into some of the actual plans that I have for expanding our farm and getting in a lot of good action. So yeah, we are currently on the 6th day of our first spring, which will give us ample time to get started on like all the things I have planned going forward. Alright, so you can see here some of the things we got in one of our last sessions from exploring the mines. We found some quartz and some topaz. We're going to need to bring those to Gunfer very soon. We also found a few geodes, which are very important. Want to take those over to Clint later today. So we're going to have to wait until a bit later in the day, as we can see from the time there, before we can actually do that. So for now, let's go check out the TV. Alright, it's going to be clear and sunny. You'll definitely want to keep track of the weather for some things coming up, because, yeah, weather will be very impactful going forward. Hi there, good morning. I noticed you've been breaking some rocks open and finding ore. That's good. If you want to get the most out of the ores you find, you'll need a furnace. Just so happens, I had an extra set of blueprints lying around. Here, I want you to have them. And like that, we get ourselves some blueprints from Clint, and now we know how to craft a furnace. The furnace allows you to smelt metal bars. The bars can be used for crafting, construction, and tool upgrades. When you smelted a few copper bars, consider having me upgrade one of your tools. It can make your work a lot easier. Well, okay, I'm heading home. Take it easy. So that was a very nice update from our friend Clint. And see here, we got a new quest objective from talking to Clint here, so we just have to craft a furnace. So to do that, we want to withdraw some stone and a couple copper ore. Go in our crafting menu. Shoot, we need a bit more copper, so I guess we'll be heading down to the mine pretty soon to grab that. Yeah, we currently don't have enough copper for that. I would like to start off this day by getting that furnace done. We have plenty of time before we need to worry about the other stuff. So we'll just water our crops at the moment. Then we'll go head down to the mine to grab the supplies we need. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting session, because one of my goals for today is to get some buildings put up around the farm so that we'll be able to just to grow our farm a bit. Like, one of the things we're going to need is a coop, and another building that I want to build that complements it very well is a silo. We'll go into that very soon. I see you've been exploring the old mine. You got the adventurous spirit, that much I can tell. If you can slay 10 slimes, you'll have earned your place in my adventurers guild. Be careful. Marlin. It's got another quest on Marlin there. Initiation. Simply put, we have to kill 10 slimes. Hi, me sell hats. Okay, Poke? Come to old house, Poke. Bring coins. Hat mouse. This is something that I didn't really take note of, but there was an old abandoned house at like the southern point of the map over by where Marty's ranch is over here. There's a ruined house. There's something we can do about that going forward. So we'll have to stop by there sometime. Alright, we got plenty of time before we need to go check out the things in town. So why don't we go head to the mine? Hey there, kitty. Let's fill your dish with water. I don't think you really need to do anything with the water in the dish. I know, it's just something that makes your animal happy, whether you pick the cat or the dog. You really don't have to do anything with that. It's not required, but it just feels good to pet them once a day and just take care of them. So yep, in our last session, the mountain opened up quite a bit to us. Now we have access to this huge area up there. It's very nice we picked up some clay there, because that's a resource that's going to be very important going forward. Just to kind of show off more of the area past the mine, we have the Adventurers Guild, of course. And over here, just a few trees. You can grab some foraging items over here, like that leek, which is very nice. Over here, we can see just this broken bridge here. There's not much we'll be able to do with that for the time being, but you'll want to remember that's there for later. Alright. So let us head down into the mine. So now that we've been to the 5th floor, we can use this elevator to immediately warp to the 5th floor. This is very good. So how the mine works is that every 5th floor will unlock a section of the elevator for you to go down. So we picked up a pretty neat artifact from that slime. Just that artifact is interesting because I believe you can only get those from drops from enemies, so you'll definitely want to pick those up. Be very good. It's actually nice that we're getting all these artifacts, considering that we've just really opened up, like, the museum, and it's going to be some very interesting going forward, because the museum is definitely a long-term goal for this. When you're down here in the mine, something else you want to watch out for are these huge rocks, because when you break them open, you get a ton of stone. I think you get exactly 10 stone by breaking them open, but yeah, highly recommend breaking them open because you get a ton of stone that can be useful for crafting. We're gonna need a lot more copper. It shouldn't take us too long to get what we need. It's got another geo, that's nice. Alright, there's the next stairs. As you advance farther down here into the caves, things get really interesting. It's found another topaz there, that's good. So we can get that as a gift to somebody, or we could sell that for some good money. I actually am going to need money going forward with this session, so I might sell the topaz. We don't really need to worry about building relationships with people. For the record, topaz is a very good gift to give to Emily. She likes a lot of gemstones, and giving that to her would be a good way to advance your relationship with her. I'm personally not going to be going with Emily as my partner in this game, because I've already had her in another file, so yep, that is how things are going to be. I'm planning to look back on some of my previous files to decide, like, what my partner is going to be eventually, because we will eventually have the ability to marry somebody. And it'd be nice just to have ahead of time. Ooh, so we got a new enemy here. In these light brown patches of dirt, you will occasionally get these little mole guys. They're called Duggies. If you can kill them, they can drop some interesting things. So I would highly recommend it. Man, our inventory is already almost full. It's got another quartz there. You'll also want to pick up quartz not only for selling, but also for recipes, because they are useful for quite a few things. That. We got another rock crab. Or cave crab. Just want to take you out. I am going to need to replace our sword, because this one is not very good. Once we have the Adventurers Guild unlocked, we'll be able to buy weapons. Ooh. Got a crab there. So that is very nice. So the crab counts as a fish, and as you could expect, they are very good. Not only do they sell for a good amount of money, but they can be used for a variety of things. Ooh, we got amethyst. That is another very nice mineral, and one we'll definitely want to give to Gunther. Now let's put all the stuff we need to give up there. Alright, and definitely when you're down here, you want to kill bugs, because their bug meat is very useful for something relating to fishing. I think I already have the recipe for it. Yeah, we can make bait. Oh, this is good. It's definitely want to look out for floors that have a lot of ore. This is tremendously helpful. Alright, and like that, we have completed initiation, so we can go to the Adventurers Guild whenever we want. I am actually going to want to get back to the surface soon because our buddy Clint only has his store open until 4 p.m. So we'll want to get over to his shop as quickly as we can. Alright, once you get down to every 10th floor, you'll find a chest containing something good. There we found leather boots. This is like the sneakers we found earlier, except they provide immunity. Not entirely sure what the immunity does, but it's much better than our sneakers. Yeah, it's currently 3 p.m. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to Clint's on time. Alright, let's just try to get over there. But yeah, every 5th and 10th floor, definitely good, because then you will have access to that floor at any time with the elevator. And yeah, that's how you progress through the mine. It is fairly easy to navigate, all things considered. Eventually, the floors will definitely get a lot bigger and a lot more complex, and obviously packed with a lot more goodies, so you want to watch out for those. And I don't think we're going to have enough time for this. Nope. We just missed it. Ugh. Oh well. We can still go check in with Gunfer. I believe the library doesn't close until, yeah, 6 p.m. So we'll go check on Gunfer. Abysmal. Not a single piece in the entire collection. Hey, buddy. What's up? What's this? You found something? Let me see it. Sure thing. Remarkable! It's very old. I'd love to study this in greater detail, but it's yours. I've got a favor to ask you. Would you consider donating any new artifacts or minerals that you find? We could make a groundbreaking discovery together. Oh, and who knows, if you keep donating, I might come across some interesting items to send your way. Think about it, will you? If you decide to donate, just bring the objects to the front desk. Can do, sir. So that opens up the main quest here with the museum. Once you find your first artifact and come to the museum, you get that cutscene with Gunfer. So now we're able to donate the various artifacts and minerals and other things that we find on our adventures. And doing this will get us a ton of good rewards. If you donate specific items or a certain amount of artifacts, then you'll be able to get goodies, I believe. And yeah, you'll definitely want to check in with Gunfer every time you find something. The inventory is especially good about notifying you when you found something that is not donated to the museum. So definitely check your items in your inventory whenever you pick up something new, because it might be something you haven't donated. So we got a good chunk of money by donating our first artifacts. We can head back up to the Adventurers Guild to complete initiation. We definitely have enough copper to craft our furnace. Oh, that is good. We found it. Wait, we just donated our amethyst, didn't we? Ah, dang it. Well, looks like we're not going to complete that request from Alex. So, yeah. That's unfortunate. Right, we need to craft a scarecrow. That's another thing we need to do. Very important going forward. We have all the stuff for that, thankfully. Let's go ahead and craft that furnace we need. Now that you've built a furnace, you can smelt some metal. According to Clint's instructions, if you place 5 copper ore and 1 piece of coal in the furnace, it should produce a copper bar. Alright. We got a book here, so we should be able to read that. If you could check the right place. This is a book by Marnie. Animals are very sensitive. They like to be pet every day and prefer to eat grass outdoors than dry hay. They don't like being outside in the rain, though. Happy animals produce higher quality products. That is some very good information for something that'll be coming up in the future. For the time being, we don't need to worry about that. Alright, so what I want to do now is we need to head back into town. No, what we need to do is head back to the farm and put away some of the stuff we found. Oh, if only, Alex, if only. Tomorrow's Lewis's birthday. Definitely want to keep that in mind. So with Lewis's birthday coming up, I feel like it'd be a good time to reiterate. When it's someone's birthday, if you give them a gift, the effect will be much higher than on ordinary days. So it's definitely their birthdays where you really want to get like the best items you can possibly get for the villagers. So yeah, once you're able to obtain those specific gifts, and if you're able to figure out which gifts they like, then those are definitely the days you want to watch out for. We'll definitely see a lot of birthdays going forward in this series, so it'll be easy for us to handle. The cherry bomb, I think we showed this off in the last session, but that causes a small explosion that can damage enemies and break stone. Very useful when you're exploring the mine. Put away this quartz. Actually, let's take a few of those so that we can sell them, because I do want to sell quite a few of these for our thing. Alright. What I want to do is withdraw some copper. I'll just bring out all the copper we have and some coal. Let's place down our furnace. We'll go right there. And we'll put in the ore. So you need 5 units of ore and at least 1 coal in order to use the furnace. And you just have to wait a while for it to cook up that ore and then smelt it into a usable bar. Let's go ahead and sell all of these that we don't need. The crab is useful to hold on to for later recipes, but we can sell that now. I just really want to accumulate a lot of money going forward, because we're going to need money for all of the stuff I have planned. Yep, keep more of that coal for later. So I don't think we can sell the sneaker here. I think that's something to do with the Adventurers Guild. So at this time, I think we could actually do something at the Adventurers Guild after we grab that. So that is a copper bar. Very good. Unfortunately, we don't get another mission after that, but yeah, copper bars are very good. They're a resource for a lot of crafting recipes and something we're going to need for... it's a recipe for... for increasing the effectiveness of our tools, is what I want to say. While we're back here on the farm, I want to quickly craft a scarecrow. We got the objective to make one of these, and you unlock this recipe after you get to farming level 1, which you'll usually get once you get the first parsnip harvest done. So, it requires wood, coal, and fiber to make. Quite a lot of resources, but it's very effective. Now that we got advancement, we got some more money. And want to place the scarecrow about here. Typically, you want the scarecrow to be like in the middle of where you place your crops. It has a wide field of effect, but once we have that down, we won't have to worry about crows showing up to nibble on our crops. It's very nice. Alright, we got all that taken care of, so let's go see if we can handle the Adventurers Guild. And then the last thing we're going to do today is, I think we'll do a little fishing up here on the mountain, so we can make a little bit more money, because, yeah, we're definitely going to need plenty of that. Aw, looks like Abigail's playing a little song right now. She will come to the mountains on a few days, like Saturday, so that's good. So now we are here in the Adventurers Guild. So here with Marlin, we are able to buy and sell different equipment. So the wooden blade is a definite upgrade from our rusty sword, which only does 2 to 5 damage, so yeah, wooden blade infinitely better. I'll go ahead and sell the rusty sword and buy the wooden blade. We definitely made a lot of good money today, so I don't mind spending a couple bucks. There's a lot of other good stuff here. The amethyst ring and the topaz ring could be very good going forward, but I want to hold on to my money for later. The leather boots that we found on the 10th level, we actually can also be bought here. We don't need it, so we'll just leave that for now. There's quite a few different things we can see here and Marlin's. Monster eradication goals help us keep the valley safe. So this gives you a little checklist of all the enemies that you can encounter in the mines. And if you kill enough of these guys, you will get rewards. So definitely you want to watch for any enemies you find and try to exterminate them. This guy here is Gil. Come back when you got something to show me, kid. There's not much we can really do with Gil. He's pretty much only here to serve as the giver of rewards you get from killing monsters. Alright, with that taken care of, we'll just do a little fishing before the end of this day. I must say, this has been a pretty good session so far. I've definitely been anxious to see how this series would progress, especially with how things kind of have happened in the previous one, but yeah, I'm hoping that things will be a bit more stable going forward. And I am definitely seeing this stream series as another opportunity to try to enhance my stream, so to speak. Like, kind of fiddling with a few of my different settings in between sessions when I feel like I can improve something. It'd be very nice. So probably want to head back around 10, just so we don't have to fall asleep after midnight and miss any of our good stuff. It's got a bullhead there, which is very nice. Another thing I might want to do is kind of affect the screen presentation right now, because I know one thing that was said in the... just one thing that someone said was how the screen was a little zoomed in, so... Obviously, it's not much of a problem if you're playing this in full screen, but I have to have this windowed just so that I have a good view of the stream preview on Twitch. So we can quickly adjust settings here in the menu. Shrink the UI. Yeah, we can shrink this down a bit, so it's not, totally in the way of other stuff, and zoom out the screen a little bit as well. Yep, I feel like that's nice, having all that be a bit smaller. Again, these are settings that I can adjust in between sessions and whatnot. Kind of going more into those kind of discussions, so... Something with this game is that I feel like every day is important because you make progress just with every little activity you do, so I'm not going to be doing any days off screen, at least for the first year, because there's just a lot of stuff that I want to do, and I feel like it'd be best to be shown off during the streams instead of off. So, yeah, that's how things are going to go with that. Let's move this torch here a bit. So I'd like to have a little light here on the farm just so I have a good view of everything. We should be able to make another torch here. Alright, we'll put this one here. Now the thing I want to do is make paths, which we have a lot of stone, so we'll easily be able to make some paths. They're very good for setting up how you want your farm to be, just making it look nice. But paths also have a practical use as they can keep grass from growing in areas you don't want it to grow. So it'd be nice to lay some paths around the area so I have a good idea on how the farm can be. Aw, the cat's sleeping on the bed. That's so cute. Alright, we made some very good money from that day. Very productive. How much money we make from these fish? Oh yeah, 100G just for one crab is very good. Got ourselves a new day with some very much needed cash. Alright, it's going to be clear and sunny tomorrow. It's the Queen of Sauce. This is a channel that I don't believe we have seen in our previous stream sessions. Greetings, it is I, the Queen of Sauce, here to teach you a new mouth-watering recipe for my secret cookbook. This week's dish, stir fry. It's a perfect way to get some healthy greens on your plate. Sauté the greens in a little sesame oil, and make sure to add plenty of fresh ginger and garlic. Now breathe deeply. Aw, that's good. You'll learn how to cook stir fry. This will be something we'll want to watch out for a bit later, but yeah, cooking recipes, you're able to learn a couple from the TV. And when you do, it shows you all the ingredients you need in order to make the dish. We're not going to worry too much about recipes and cooking until a bit later, because we're going to need a lot of preparation in order to actually be able to use these recipes. But they show the ingredients you need in order to make those, which is very nice. Got another thing here. Got some new items in stock. A deluxe fishing pole and some bait that you can attach to it. You can use bait to make fish bite faster. Hope to see you soon, Willie. That's some very nice advice, Willie. Robin here. I know there's a lot of stones scattered around your farm. If you have a surplus, you might consider having me build a well for you. Wells can be placed all over your farm and serve as convenient places to refill your watering can. Just swing by my shop with 75 stones and 1000G when you're ready for it. Robin. That is some nice advice, because a well could be pretty handy. We have the pond over there to refill our watering can, but eventually our farm is going to grow much bigger and we're going to need more space for growing our crops. And it'd be nice to have our water supply, like, readily available for, like, the different places we can grow our crops. Going forward, it's going to be fairly interesting to see how things progress here. Alright, we don't really have any other main objectives right now. Do want to go into town for a few things. I just want to check our supplies for something. Alright, what I'm going to do is build a couple paths, because that'll be helpful for something. So what I like to do is try to lay down some paths just to quickly give me a nice indicator of, just to give me a good way to access the southern part of the map, is what I want to say here. You can see here there is all this space here, and there's a lot of different things that are just covering up so much of it. We're not going to be able to have easy access to this with just all this debris here. It'd be good just to clear a bunch of this out. Yeah, at some point we'll definitely want to clear all this, but this is a day when I'm mainly going to focus on trying to make some money for the farm. So let's place a few paths here. I want a nice, clean indicator of how I want to walk for this area. Alright, thinking one ahead. I want this path to go over here. So I think if we have it like this, we should be able to have a clean... Okay, that stump is in the way. That stump's in the way. A lot of stuff in the way! Jeez! I don't know, what would be the best place for me to just quickly... No, just a lot of these are just being really annoying because they're blocking off the different paths we could have. Alright, I think like this is like the best route we can take for the time being. Yeah, so we'll just place a couple paths and got a lot more stone from that, so let's make some more. What's very nice with all the stone that is readily available when you first start the farm, it is good. And for just building your paths, like, immediately. Something I want to do... Well, something I don't want to do is start cutting all this grass here, because you'll want to have a good surplus of grass. It'll be important for something going forward. Alright, it's quite late into this morning, so we'll probably want to head to town now. Ooh, we actually found some coal, so let's use that to make another copper bar. And let's withdraw some more of these geodes. I don't want to spend too much money, so... Yeah, we'll bring 5 geodes with us into town. Just want to quickly check here for anything. There's a daffodil, very nice. Alright, if we go into town now, I think something could happen. Yep. Oh, hi there. What an eyesore. This is the Pelican Town Community Center, or what's left of it anyway. It used to be the pride and joy of the town, always bustling with activity. Now, just look at it. It's shameful. These days, the young folk would rather sit in front of the TV than engage with the community. Boy, that's relatable. But listen to me, I sound like an old fool. Joja Corporation has been hounding me to sell them the land so they can turn it into a warehouse. Pelican Town could use the money. Something's stopping me from selling it. I guess old-timers like me get attached to relics of the past. Yeah, well, if anyone else buys a Joja Co. membership, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. Here, let's go inside. Alright, let's go inside. Whew, this place is a dump. What's this? I guess Vincent and Jazz must have been playing in here. This place is even more dilapidated than I remember. Whoa, what is that? What? Look like a green potato. What's the matter? Are you ill? You saw something? I wouldn't be surprised if this place was full of rats. That is not a rat, that is a green potato. You're worrying me, Hayden. Look, I think I'm gonna head home. I need some lunch. Hey, I'll keep this place unlocked from now on. Maybe you can help catch that rat if you have some extra time. Strange. I'll have to come back and explore this building further. And by further, I mean right now. So there's a rat problem. So we have to investigate the community center. There's quite a bit to this building. It is quite a massive area of a lot of different stuff you can see. And it's all pretty much garbage. It's one of those guys again. What's this? I don't speak Italian. So yeah, that is very curious. It's not a whole lot we can do here for the time being. Just a lot of old, abandoned rooms. Nothing's looking usable at the time being. So let's make our way out of here. So now that we've had that scene with Lewis and the community center, this offers up a split path we can take in the story of this game. So as Lewis said, there's something with Joja, how they are looking to purchase the community center. How about we go have a chat with Morris? Welcome to JojaMart. How's your weekend going? Memberships now available. With a Joja membership, you'll be able to make improvements in the community with the help of our dedicated personnel. For a fee, of course. Oh, and another thing. Mayor Lewis promised us that if anyone else joined up, he'd let us turn that old community center into a Joja warehouse. Isn't that wonderful? So the membership for joining with Joja is 5,000 G. We're not going to take that offer. And yeah, this is going to be the start of something interesting going forward with these sessions. We'll go into more of that a bit later, but yeah, it's something very involved. But anyway, what I want to do now is want to head in with Clint, because these geodes that we got can be processed with our friend here. Clint will crack them open for a fee of 25G, and you can get quite a lot of stuff here. You can get resources like stone and coal and ore, but you can also get various minerals and artifacts by cracking open geodes, like that mudstone, which we can give to Gunfer. Let's go and do that. Probably want to head to Clint sometime soon so that we can upgrade our gear. Don't have to worry about that too much going forward, but at some point we will want to start upgrading our gear. Alright, so for donating that, we have a reward we can take from our friend Clint here. Gunfer. So now we got cauliflower seeds as a gift. We get 9 of those for donating those items. Takes 12 days to produce cauliflower, which we have ample amount of time for that. So how about we head back to the farm and start prepping those for some good stuff. Definitely want to grow a lot of crops so that we'll have plenty of money for my plans. Oh yeah, it's Lewis's birthday. Shoot. Happy birthday, Lewis. Oh, a birthday gift. Thank you. Alright, the next birthday coming up is Vincent. I don't really have a clear idea on what I'm going to give him, but worry about that later. Looking to dissect green algae. Please deliver to Demetrius at 24 Mountain Road. We only get a little bit of G for that, but I guess we can make the time for that. Green algae is a pretty common item you can get when fishing in freshwater areas, so we'll probably do that after we take care of our business on the farm. Alright, that copper that we put in the furnace has finished smelting. Just gonna need to grab a bit more copper, because we're gonna need at least 5 copper bars for something we're gonna be crafting soon. Also gonna need clay and a lot of stone. Like, definitely gonna need a lot. There's a lot of stone on the farm, so it'd actually be a good idea to start clearing some of that out. But for now, what I want to do is let's clear up some space here. And let's get this cauliflower prepped for growing. So something else that we can do is we're able to make fertilizer. So we head into the crafting here. Basic fertilizer made from 2 units of sap. Sap's pretty easy to get, so you shouldn't have to worry about having fertilizer. We'll just want to make 9 of those. And we can scatter the fertilizer on the tilled soil, and then we plant our seeds here. So the fertilizer is very good. The basic fertilizer we get has a decent chance of making it, so that any plants that are grown on that spot will have a higher chance of being good quality. And good quality crops means more money we can make off of them. So that will be very useful going forward. Got that delivery mission, so... yeah, how about we head back down here, because if we go this way, I don't really want to fish on the farm because there is a pretty high chance of finding garbage items when you are fishing from the farm, so I really don't want to waste my time with that. Oh, we can show this off since we weren't able to last time. But every Friday and Sunday, you're able to find this cart here with the traveling merchant. Oh, why is this guy selling saplings right now? But yeah, this traveling merchant is very, very handy. Ooh, a tea sapling. This is tea leaves during the final week of each season except winter. That is something we'll definitely want to grab at some point. And, oh boy, that. We want to save our money, but we will remember that. So the traveling merchant is very interesting. They will sell items that you normally would not be able to obtain during that season. They're usually high priced, but if you're able to find something that you really need, then I highly recommend buying them from this person. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff. I also get coffee bean, which is pretty good to raise in the... it's pretty good to raise in the early months. But it takes a lot of money, and we can find coffee beans for, like, no money at all in the future. Oh, hey, Leia. So, yeah, we don't need to buy anything from the traveling merchant right now, but it is good to talk with them later. So, yeah, Leia will come down here to the dock on Sundays. So I believe she can also show up here on other days. Leia tends to either stay here in town or... I don't know, where else would she go? I think she can show up at the beach as well. I picked up a Joja Cola there. That is a garbage item. It restores a little bit of health and energy. I don't recommend selling those at all. They make, like, very little money, so... I would just use them up with a little bit of energy they give you, and then just keep fishing. It is interesting that they're one of the few garbage items that has a use, because most trash items are only used for one thing. They're not really useful for any crafting, and you need to get a different item in order to be able to actually make anything happen with them. But, yeah, eventually we'll have use for trash items, just not going to come to us right now. So while we're just casually doing some fishing right now, what is some stuff we can talk about? Well, something I could say is that during this whole situation with the pandemic, I have been doing a lot more... that's a good smallmouth bass. So I've been doing a lot more cooking lately, just because it's nice to make myself a meal from time to time. And something I've started doing is making some breakfast sausage sandwiches, which it's been very fun to do. So what I would do is take, like, sausage patties that you can just easily get at the grocery store and English muffins, and you just fry up the sausage patties on the stove. Just put the English muffins in the toaster for a little bit. Then you put some cheese on that, maybe a bit of ketchup if you're into that, and they are very good. Usually I would grab those kind of sandwiches at a store like a Tim Hortons, but I've never really made them myself, and I've actually been cooking some for myself, and it's been very good. They're just, when you make them right, they can just be a very tasty and good source of energy. I really like them. So I've been very happy that I've been making those. Because I know with the whole situation going on, it feels good to be cooking your own meals. Because, especially nowadays, I have been eating out a bit more. Like, I definitely stopped by Subway, like, a hell of a lot more than I probably should have any right to. But it is nice to, like, cook my own stuff. Another place that I frequent quite a bit is at the mall near where I live. There's this little shop that sells Chinese food. You can grab it really hot, and you just pack a lot of food in their containers, and it's just so frickin' tasty. I really love grabbing like some chow mein noodles or some fried rice, and then topping that with some chicken and vegetables. It is really good. Another thing I like grabbing there that I never thought I would really like is boba tea. So, if you don't know, boba is this interesting drink where it's like, it's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of like a smoothie, except it has these little pockets of, I think it's like concentrated tea stuff. Oh no, it's like these gelatinous as packs of whatever it is they're made of, and they're interesting. It's actually very tasty, the ones I've had. Like, the one I really like is the taro boba. I don't know, there's something about it. It's really sweet and tasty. I really like it a lot. I didn't think I would really like it, especially with the little jelly things that kind of feel like you're slurping up frog eggs while you're drinking these things, so it's kind of a weird feeling to actually drink it, but I really like it. It's very good. And I don't 100% know if it's like healthy for you, but I definitely like to have a few more of them when I am grabbing food there. I don't know. It's just really tasty, and I like supporting these businesses while everything is going on here. Like, we need to help each other out during these situations. But let me tell you, things at work have been getting pretty crazy lately. Like, obviously the Christmas season is happening, and I just got out of an entire weekend of having to work. So yeah, things have been pretty crazy for us down at the grocery store. Just getting a lot of customers and having to service a lot of people in a short amount of time, which can get stressful, I admit. And I've definitely been very close to some mental breakdowns at some point. Especially because some people just seem to, like, not have any care of the world that there's a pandemic going on, and they should be more careful about putting their items in the belt before I have a chance to clean it, and I don't know, it's just something that kind of affects me a bit, and I feel very strongly about this kind of thing. I know some people probably don't, but I just really want this thing to be over and done with, and I don't know, we're not going to be done until everyone is 100% on board with stopping this, and the best way we can stop it is just if everybody pitches in and tries their best to be safe and try to make a healthy, safe environment for everybody. Alright, enough of that talk because we leveled up our fishing, so now we have new recipes. Once we have access to cooking, we'll be able to make a dish of the sea, which is a fairly good recipe for a lot of different reasons. Let me go check our collection right now. Yeah, dish of the sea. As you can see there, not only does it restore health and energy, but it also adds fishing. So that is fairly interesting because some food items will actually improve your character's stats. And it's useful for quite a few different things. If you have an increased fishing skill, you're able to do like a lot of interesting things. We'll talk about that a bit more going forward. It's made some good amount of money, like we're about halfway done the things that I really wanted to do in terms of money. Still gonna need like about double this, but that is good. Alright, the other thing we got is the crab pot. So this requires a resource that we don't have, and we're not gonna get this resource until quite a while. But this is a very good item we'll want to watch out for later. Is there anything else we need to make? Not really. Alright, let's check the weather now. Gonna be a beautiful, sunny day. And let's check living off the land. Let's talk fences. Fences are useful for keeping weeds at bay and protecting your crops. They also let farmers contain their livestock. Fences break down after a while, but stone, iron, and hardwood fences last a lot longer than basic wood. So yeah, that is definitely a good tip. We don't need to worry about fences right now. That'll definitely be something I'll be doing a bit later on. And once we have like the coop set up. Because it'll be definitely nice to keep our animals in line so we don't have to worry about them going everywhere. Okay, it looks like we'll be getting our next parsnip harvest very soon. Alright, everything is watered. So how about we check our mail? My sources tell me you've been poking around inside the old community center. Why don't you pay me a visit? My chambers are west of the Forest Lake in the Stone Tower. I may have information concerning your rat problem. From M. Rasmodius, wizard. What the hell? I thought I was the only wizard around here. Dear Farmer Hayden, I'd like to apologize for joking about your grandpa's old cottage when we first met. It's really a nice little house. However, you might need some more space someday. That's where I can help. If you bring me some raw materials and pay a fee, I can expand your house. The first expansion I offer includes a kitchen. With a kitchen, you'll be able to cook any recipes you've learned. Anyway, I hope you're starting to feel at home in Stardew Valley. Your local carpenter, Robin. So yep, that is another nice addition to this game. We are able to have house upgrades with our friend Robin. And those will be very useful for the things we want to cover, because recipes are definitely a good way. Well, cooking in general, just a very good way to increase our friendship with the community. We already got one heart with Lewis, that's very good. Alright, but as that one letter stated, there is someone who can help us out dealing with those green potatoes we saw earlier. So why don't we go check him out and see what he has to say. I don't want to head back down to the mine, because I definitely want to grab a lot more stone and some more clay. Also like going down to the forest here, because it's just a nice way to grab a couple more resources, like the horseradish. Definitely want to grab that too. I'm not too worried about fiber, because there are plenty of ways we can obtain fiber, so... Yep, over here by the lake is this old tower. Hey, buddy. Ah, come in. This guy's a wizard and he's purple. He's mooching off on my territory. I am Rasmodius, seeker of the arcane truths, mediary between physical and ethereal, master of the 7 elementals, keeper of the sacred You get the point. Yes, I do. And you, Hayden, the one whose arrival I've long foreseen. Here, I'd like to show you something. Behold! He can make potatoes! You've seen one before, haven't you? They call themselves the Junimos. Mysterious spirits, these ones. For some reason, they refuse to speak with me. I'm not sure why they moved into the community center, but you have no reason to fear them. You found a golden scroll written in an unknown language. Most interesting. Stay here. I'm gonna see for myself. I'll return shortly. Wow, someone knows teleport. He just walks out the front door like it's nothing. I found the note. The language is obscure, but I was able to decipher it. We, the Janimo, are happy to aid you. In return, we ask for gifts of the valley. If you're one with the forest, then you will see the true nature of the scroll. One with the forest. What do they mean? Aha! Come here. Yeah, what is it? My cauldron is bubbling with ingredients from the forest. Baby fern, moss grub, caramel top toadstool. Can you smell it? Here, drink up. Let the essence of the forest permeate your body. Okay. We actually got some increased energy from that. Oof, this is easily the second worst green thing I've ever drank. Oh, what's happening to the screen? Oh god, I'm hallucinating! The trees! They're moving! Oh god, is this what it's like to smoke weed? Oh. Oh dear. So if a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, you gain the power of forest magic. Now you can decipher the true meaning of the Janimo scrolls. That's fascinating. But what is also nice about that scene is now we have registered the wizard. So he is the last main resident that we are able to access in town for the time being. We don't have to worry about giving him birthday gifts until really late into the year, but we'll have ample time to grab him the stuff he needs. So Rasmodius here is a fairly interesting character. Ah yes, I've seen many things about your future, young Hayden. If I were to tell you, there could be grave consequences. He is important for a lot of quests down the line. And just overall a very fun character. I like him quite a bit. But yeah, with that taken care of, I feel like now is a good time to get ourselves ready for what we are going to be handling on this day, Monday the 8th. It's nice that we recovered some of our energy, because we're going to need it if we're going down into the mine today. Alright, our crops look good. Let's put these away. And let's sell these, because we're going to need money. And what I want to do is grab that green algae, because we need that for a delivery mission. Luckily, Demetrius tends to be up in the mountains, so we'll easily be able to deliver this to him. Need something built? Nah, just hang on. Okay, it looks like we're live again. Yeah. Well, that was unfortunate. So it seems like this session is going to be split up. Alright, that's fine. It's kind of a game that I'm not too worried about that happening, all things considered. Alright, hello Demetrius, I got the algae for you. And we get a paltry sum of money for that. But it's nice that we have something for our efforts. So yeah, while Robin's here in the shop, we're able to ask her to do a lot of things for us. We can shop from her to buy wood or stone whenever we need. Or we can get those for free, so we don't need to worry about that. You can also buy a lot of furniture from her, allowing you to just decorate your home whenever you want. Workbench going forward could be something we invest in. That will allow us to craft using materials found in nearby chests, which can be helpful for a variety of things. Use the telephone to check store hours. The televisions, which we already know what they do. And a couple other things. And you can also buy recipes here. Definitely a lot of things that are nice for decorating your farm just however you want. I'll be investing in a few of these going forward, but for the time being, I don't need to rely on them. Also, we can do with Robin is upgrade our house. So to get the kitchen, we need 10,000 G and 450 pieces of wood. This is definitely going to be a long time goal for these streams. And we can also construct farm buildings. We'll go more into this later, but there is a lot of things we can make. The coop is definitely one of the things we want to go for. It's just overall a very good building. We'll definitely want to make that. There's also a barn, which is pretty much a bigger version of the coop, but has a lot of different utility to it. There's also the well, allowing us to refill water, the silo, which allows us to stockpile some nice resources for feeding our animals, the mill, which can turn various crops into different resources, a shed, which is basically just there to store various items. We may see some use for this later, but we don't really need it. The fish pond is something that will be very useful going forward. It's something we'll want to invest in, because it allows us to not only raise fish and kind of farm them, but it also allows us to collect a variety of different things, namely fish eggs, which will be important for recipes going forward. We can build cabins, which are pretty much only needed for multiplayer. And there's this stable, which is very pricey, requires some resources that aren't readily available at this time. But you'll definitely want a stable. It is very helpful. a slime hutch, which is only needed for slime breeding, which we're not going to need for quite a while, and it requires resources we don't have. And shipping bin, which is pretty much the thing we already have. We don't need another of those. So yeah, they are some interesting options for us. I have my eyes set on certain things going forward. We'll worry about that later. Oh, hey there, Linus. I don't have any gifts to give you. Actually, I saw that leak. I want to give that to Linus. I know I said this earlier in the last stream, but Linus is one of the NPCs I highly recommend giving gifts to as early as you can. Because he has some very good recipes he can give you. It's definitely a very, very important person to talk to. So grab that leek. And let's head back down into the mine. We'll head to the 10th floor and see what we can find going forward. Alright, now that we have our upgraded sword, we should be able to just handle these enemies so much easier. And what we can also do down here is collect some clay. So pretty much anywhere where you see these light patches, you can use your hoe to dig and see what you're able to find. Whoa, we actually disturbed some duggies. I think that might happen if you... Alright, dig in these areas. I think there's a chance of duggies popping up. Just because you're, like, disturbing their home. Ooh, we picked up an earth crystal. That is good to give to Gunfer, and it's also a crafting recipe. Well, it's something we need for crafting, I want to say. So yeah, very important going forward. Ooh, we just dug up a cave carrot. That is an interesting and unique item. It's useful for quite a few recipes, some which I consider some of the best recipes in the game. So definitely want to hang on to cave carrots. They are good. Found another carrot. Nice. Alright, there's the stairs. So we definitely need some more stone. I'll probably go into this more after we've actually finished up this area. Sometimes if you can find minecarts on some of the floors, and they can give you coal, which is nice. Uh-oh, this area is overrun with monsters. Sometimes when you're going down these floors, there's a random chance you'll end up on a floor that is overrun with monsters. In which case, pretty much the only thing you have to do is fight these guys. It's nice the monsters do drop very important items, and just by killing these guys, you can get some very good stuff. Not going to be able to escape this floor until after we've killed everything here. So gotta be worried because of the big slimes. Those ones, when you kill them, will split into smaller slimes, so it can be a bit irritating to deal with. While we're here, I might as well mention, because it's going to be important for things going forward, and it'd be kind of nice just to get this out in the open right now. I am not a big fan of the combat in this game overall. Like, it is fairly important for things going forward, especially with certain quest lines. But, I don't know, just something about the way it feels just not too good. Like, you can't move and attack at the same time. Ooh, there's a new enemy that can appear in the lower levels of the caves. That is a fly. Like the beetles we saw earlier, we can kill them for bug meat. And I recommend doing so, because bug meat is very good. Alright, still got some more slime here. But yeah, overall I just find the combat kind of clunky and not too fleshed out. Like, I know this is supposed to be like a homage to a lot of retro-style games, So obviously a lot of mechanics to it are going to be a bit clunky, but why did it have to be the combat, like one of the major parts of this game? Like, as we go forward, there'll be a lot of different items we get that'll make combat a bit more, well, just play a lot better. For the time being, it's not too good. I'm not really showing it off right now, but we can block with our current equipment. And it can be nice to block damage from enemies at some points if you know they're going to charge at you. But I don't really see too much use from it compared to just slashing at the enemy and trying to do as much damage as you can. I don't know. It's like one of the few things of this game I'm really not a fan of. We found another dwarf scroll. Don't have the time to donate that, sadly, so we can just go forward. We're almost to floor 15, which is nice. Oh! I was not expecting a Dougie to drop that this early! That is a diamond. That is one of the rarest and most valuable of the minerals that can be found in the game. And I was not expecting to find that on floor 14. Usually, you have to wait until much later on to get these. Holy crap. But yeah, that is a very, very good item. We can sell that for a lot of money, which I'm definitely going to do because I want money for the things we're going to be building. But it's also one of the items that is really good to give to gifts as villagers, since pretty much nobody has a bad opinion on diamonds. They are just a very good resource, and everybody loves them. So yeah, if you find yourself in a position where you don't really need to worry about money, and you're just looking to advance your relationship with people, then hell yeah, I highly recommend giving them a diamond. Alright, there's the stairs. We can go down there. And that unlocks another floor for us. Good. Alright, our inventory's full, so we'll probably want to head back out. Alright, that was a very, very worthwhile expedition. So much good stuff. I want to check some things right now. Yeah. And now that we're out of the cave, so remember with Rasmodius, how he gave us the ability to read the Genemo plates? That relates to what I was saying earlier about the event there providing a split in the game's story. So as was explained before, Joja was seeking to claim ownership of the... they were seeking to claim ownership of the community center to turn it into a warehouse for their business. But the thing is that the place has become home to the Genemos, and they are nature spirits that are very in tune with this area, and it's probably figure out that you probably want to keep the Genemos rather than Joja. So you can see here, from accessing the inventory, we now have the community center option here. This allows you to check the various plates that you can see inside the community center. The first one we have access to is the crafts room. So we got various bundles here, and let's check them. So these are fairly important. So for each bundle, they give you an assortment of these items here, and what you need to do is go out into the world and try to find each of these items and deliver them into each bundle. And by doing so, you'll get some very, very nice rewards. we can see here for the crafts room, a lot of the bundles here require things that can be found in later seasons. So we're not going to be able to fully complete this for the time being, but going forward we'll want to watch out for as many of these as we can. Actually, we can give our spare air cave carrot for the exotic foraging. We'll say that for a bit later, but yeah. Going forward, this is something we're going to be spending a lot of time on, because the community center is going to be a very, very integral quest line for us to do. So if we don't take a community center quest and we buy the Joja membership, that will effectively allow us to access the same things as the community center quest, but instead of getting the big rewards, we just pay a substantial fee, and that will allow us to unlock the things that we just unlock from the community center by delivering items. So overall, I feel like the community center is easily the better half of this quest line. Just has so much better rewards in it for us, and it just feels better to help out the Janimos than it does to help out Joja, don't you think? Alright, with all that said, need to look at my items again, because going forward... Oh yeah, what we need now is some more wood. I did use quite a bit of wood for crafting, so... definitely makes sense there. We need a lot of wood going forward. So we got stuff we can deliver to Gunfur. But I'm still worried about the other resources we need. So to go forward with our current mission, we need to obtain wood and stone in order to craft the certain buildings we want. Which will be very, very important going forward. Right, it is almost... Yeah, it is almost midnight, so probably want to call it soon, but... dang, if we had, like, one more thing, we could craft something that would definitely help for energy. Yeah, I feel like at this point it'd be best if we just cut the day early. Going forward, there'll be other ways we can replenish our energy that'll be very good. So leveled up our combat, which gives us some new recipes, the sturdy ring and the bug steak. And we increased our foraging, so we can make survival burgers. It's something that'll only be important for something going forward later. I got a good amount of money there. Just want to give those to Gunfur. How is the report here? It's going to be a sunny day. Alright. Looks like we got our parsnips ready. Still no high-quality parsnips. Don't worry, we will deal with those in time. Something else I could say about the community center bundles. So when we first started up this farm, we had access to advanced settings. If we went to those advanced settings, we could set it up so that one of the things we can do is... it would affect the community center bundle so that, depending on the specific bundle, it could make us grab a certain other resource as other than one of the other resources they request, or give you an entirely different bundle altogether. That's nice to know going forward. Yeah, definitely you would recommend playing with the advanced bundle in future playthroughs. It gives you a lot of different ways you can and go through the quest, and it's definitely effective in a lot of ways, because there are some bundles that can be pretty tricky to deal with on the first year, but some bundles make it so that it's easier to complete on the first year, so I can recommend that. Alright, but what I want to do before the shops open, which probably going to wait until 9 for that, let's go around the farm and chop down some trees, because I need a lot of wood. It's a shame our axe really isn't good right now, because if our axe was a bit better, we would be able to chop down trees without expending as much energy. We do have resources that allow us to replenish our energy. They're not nearly as good as some of the other ways we can. Yeah, I just feel like I'm probably going to be going silent during a lot of these very monotonous tasks. Just kind of save energy on my end of the stream, because, I don't know, but talking just a lot of hours can be very exhausting, you know? We already got over 100 wood, which is good. Definitely want to check that in with our current supplies. Ooh, that expended like almost all of our energy chopping those trees. But it'll be worth it. We got a lot of resources. Alright, we almost have all the wood we need, which is good. Put away the stone. A bunch of these as well. Alright, so we got 4 bare spaces on the farm right now. So what would be nice is we could go buy some seeds that be able to just to fill up the farm some more and then give us some. Oof. So got another good thing there. Alright, just because we need the energy, let's eat this leek. Nom. That gave us a good amount of energy. Very happy. If we see anybody who needs some gifts, I guess we can give that. I believe it's almost Vincent's birthday, so we could give him something going forward. Yeah, tomorrow is Vincent's birthday. Buying 1 seaweed, 3 times the market value. Alright, so Willie needs seaweed. We can go check in with him a bit later. So seaweed is pretty much obtained much the similar way as the green algae, except you need to fish it up from the sea. Hey there, Gunfer. Got some stuff for ya. Got another scroll. So the scrolls that we donate also have another utility to them. It's not something we're going to see at the moment, but later on they will be able to do something good for us. Alright, let's go buy some seeds from... Yeah, we'll buy seeds from Pierre, since it's Tuesday and not Wednesday. Oh, there's Willie now. I guess I'll be heading back to his shop sometime soon. Still can't purchase the inventory upgrade, which is going to be very important going forward. So which of these crops do we still not have? So I know we got the parsnips. It's pretty much the only one of the main crops we have grown right now. We are going to need parsnips for something going forward. Depending on how things go, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of... Actually, we'll buy some more parsnips. Because we have quality fertilizer. We can use that. Oh, looks like Willie's going in for his annual checkup. Here, Haley. She seemed to like that. I know that Haley typically likes flowers. I forget what specifically it is she adores. It doesn't help that Haley's just one of those characters I'm not very fond of. Sorry, girl. Alright, we're gonna need more of these. Alright, then we'll plant our fertilizer, plant the seeds. And that is good. What I want to do now is head to the ocean so we can catch some seaweed for Willy. And also see if we can grab anything that can give us some energy. Seriously, is there anything out here in the wilderness that can give us energy? Because I really need it right now. I spend like most of my energy just trying to, chop trees for wood. Is there anything at all? Some dandelions. Yeah, that gives some energy. That's good. Also, while they're down here, might as well show off. So remember that note that was saying to come down to the old house? This is what that's for. We are able to buy hats. They're kind of pricey at this point, so I'm not going to buy them now, but sometime later you'll want to stop by if you're looking to change your look. It can be helpful. So got some spring onions here. The spring onions will only grow down here in this section of the forest in the springtime. So you can stop by here just to grab a couple. They don't give too much energy, but they can be nice to sell for some quick money. Oh, now that we have a few of these, we can actually put those in the community center. Yeah, between the daffodils and the dandelion, the only thing we need now is a leek and some horseradish, which we can grab plenty of later. Alright, but for now, let's head down to the ocean and catch us some seaweed. Oh, there's Elliot. I seldom see him around here. Yeah, I haven't been to the beach in a while, so there is quite a few things on the beach that we can grab. Just a few clams and some cockles. Definitely want to worry about that bridge later. So I can recommend holding on to a few of these for something going forward with the community center. I don't have to worry about it right now, but some point soon we will need them. Yeah, there's a lot of things on the beach we can get that'll be very helpful. And if we can get this... Alright, there's the seaweed that Willy wanted. Is he back in his shop? No, I guess he's still in for his checkup. Alright, while we're going to Willy, we can also get... we could also donate some of our things to the... Yeah, why not? We can improve our relationship with Elliot a bit. I'm not a huge fan of this. Oh. Okay, Elliot's one of the few people who doesn't like daffodils. That is good to know for the future. And if we actually check the social page, we can see here, among Elliot's things, that he dislikes Daffodil. Yep. Alright. Okay, Willie's not at the clinic right now. Well, it's closed right now. He does tend to hang out at the saloon. There he is. Here, man, got your seaweed. So you're able to make a little money from that. Alright, let's go donate these items to the community center. And while we're there, there are some things we could talk about. So, in one of the Discord servers I'm in, we're hosting a little Secret Santa event where we each get assigned a random person, and each of us has to make that person some fan art based on one of their, based on things from, like, any of their comics or various OCs that they have art of, and yeah, I definitely like a lot of these different fan art challenges and various events. It's just a very nice moment for me and a bunch of different artists to get together and just flex our creativity and give something back to the various people we interact with. And these are some good people I interact with in this specific Discord server. It's a lot of, definitely a lot of artists and people who work on comics. And they're all very nice people, very creative, and we support each other in a lot of the things we do, and I don't know, it's just very nice to be giving something back to them after all the time we've been spent talking and sharing our various art. Linus, are you available here? Yes. Take a flower. This is a great gift, thank you. You're welcome. Anything for you, Linus? Alright, if we can find a leak right now, we'd be able to finish up the community center, like, right away. There's one! Yes! Alright, so we've already managed to complete a bundle. That's good. Hey, Robin. Guess we could give Robin a gift, but we don't need to worry about that right now. But yeah, anyway, Secret Santa, I've been working on the particular gift I need for that, and I've actually finished it a few days ago, which makes me very happy. So we'll be able to get that delivered once the 25th rolls around. Alright, by donating all of the forage items, we get ourselves a reward. 30 spring seeds. You'll definitely want to plant these very soon because we only have a couple days left of this season. But once you complete your first bundle here, that unlocks another area here in the community center. And another area. So yeah, by filling up the different sections of the community center, we're able to get a lot more rewards. As you can see down there in the bottom, this shows you the overall reward for completing this specific page. So definitely going to need to donate a lot more stuff. It's actually good we stop by the beach because there's some things we can actually donate going forward. So we check over here. This is the pantry. It will give us the greenhouse as a reward, which is definitely something important for later. It's a lot of different bundles for this one. Spring crops, we need to grow at least one of all of these crops, which we should be getting these fairly soon, depending on how things go. Then there is animal bundle, which is a variety of things we can obtain from farming animals. Fall crops, which are crops that can be grown around fall time. Summer crops, for crops in the summer. The quality crops bundle, which is something that I'm a little peeved by, but something that is readily obtainable to us. So we needed to obtain at least 5 quality items from these specific crops. Luckily, we only need 3 of these bundles. We don't need all 4. So that's at least good about this. This is also one of the bundles that I think does get randomized. If you select the advanced option for it. So that can be a very interesting one to go for. An artisan bundle. This one is fairly unique, and it requires collecting fruit from trees, or a variety of goods that can be processed from either crops or items obtained from animals. So this is one of the more tricky bundles to complete, but definitely an exciting one. And once you complete a bundle, the Janimos will deliver it into that little hut. Very cute. Now over here is the fish tank. So the reward for this one is to remove the glittering boulder. That'll be important for later. The fish tank is obviously to obtain various fish that can be obtained around the area. So we have the river fish bundle. We have specialty fish, which are fish that can only be obtained in very specific areas. We'll definitely want to remember those for later. Ocean fish, which of course, fish caught from the ocean. Lake fish, which are fish caught up on the mountain lake. Night fishing, which requires catching fish that can only be obtained after a certain point in time. The eel is one of those, so that's why I highly recommended picking up the eel and keeping one of those. And the crab pot bundle. This can actually be completed without a crab pot. All you need to do is collect these certain... collect these certain items that are specifically for these. Namely ones that can be found on the beach, which are fairly good. What I should have done is I should have saved the crab that I got from that cave crab. That would have been nice to fit in here. But yeah, this one is also pretty easy to fill once you manage to obtain a crab pot. We don't have the resources to craft one of these, so we're going to have to wait until later. But yeah, that's something to remember for later. And with all that taken care of, that gives us a lot of different quests we can work on going forward. Grr, sounds like those raccoons are back again. Filthy varmints. Ah, you turned up at the right moment, son. Could you do an old man a favor? Could you go around the corner and scare off those raccoons for me? They've been causing a real mess. Thanks. Make sure you give them a good scare so they never come back. Hi, Linus. It was me. I'm sorry. I find a lot of hot, fresh food in these cans. Stuff that'll go to waste if I don't take it. Do you think there's something wrong with what I'm doing? So this is an interesting event. There are several cutscenes in the game that will offer you a choice, and the choices you pick will actually affect your relationships with the various people in the valley. The one I'm going to go with is, no, it's a shame for food to go to waste. Thanks, Hayden. I knew you were an open-minded person. I feel good about what I'm doing. I'm not harming anyone. You can go on home. I promise I won't rummage in George's can anymore. You can tell him you scared off the raccoons for good. Alright, Linus, take it easy. Oh, just couldn't help himself. Wait! I know what you were doing, Linus. If you need food, just ask. I don't want anyone in Pelican Town to go hungry. Here, I've got a basket of zucchini fritters for you. Just make sure you dip him in my spicy marinara. Go on, take it. Aw, Gus is just such a good person. I really like Gus. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. But yeah, that scene is pretty neat for some different reasons. Not only is it just a nice character moment with Gus and Linus, it actually shows off a gameplay mechanic. You can check trash cans and get items from them. So you're able to get bread. That is something that can be obtained from cooking, but is also a cooking ingredient itself. Very nice. Now, you want to be careful when you're checking trash cans, because, as it is hinted at in that cutscene, some people are disgusted when they see someone rummaging in trash. So if somebody sees you rummaging in the trash, they will be disgusted, and that will affect your relationship with them. So yeah, it is a very interesting mechanic. I definitely recommend checking trash cans when you can, in order to see what you can find, because there's always some good stuff you can pick up. Alright, let's put away some horseradish, and put away the spring onions. Don't need that dandelion. Rusty spoon we'll want to give to Gunfur. And yeah, we'll sell these as well. We don't need those. I'm thinking because I got the bread, I might actually eat this, because I need some energy right now. What would be nice is I want to chop down a couple pine trees, because we need some pine cones for something. Just so I want to make sure we have enough energy for the things I want to do. Very nice. Alright, can we chop down this tree? Oh, thank goodness. Guess something else I can talk about. So, one of the things I like to watch these days is I like to watch a lot of reaction and channels. Like, there is a lot of people who, like, dedicate a lot of their content to just reacting to either television or movies and stuff. And there's quite a few good ones that I actually follow. Oh, that is nice. We have all the wood we need for things going forward. We're going to need some more stone, and we need some more clay, but that is very good. That will give us, like, all the buildings we're going to need going forward. Very good. But yeah, I've been watching quite a lot of reaction channels these days, which have been very entertaining. I like a lot of the ones I've been following. One of the ones I've been checking out was fairly interesting because he was reacting to quite the movie. So he did a reaction video to the Sweeney Todd movie that was directed by Tim Burton, and oh boy, it was definitely an uncomfortable movie to sit through. Especially with his reactions to things. What I like about this particular channel, so his channel is Nickflix, in case you want to know. What I love about him in his videos is that he just always has such a genuine reaction to everything he sees. It's definitely very good. Dear Hayden, how are you doing, sweetie? I miss you so much since you left. I hope the farming life is everything you hoped for. Love, Mom. P.S. I sent your favorite cookies. We got cookies. These, of course, a cooking recipe we can eventually make. They're good because they also give us a lot of energy. So we'll save those for later. Alright, we need to water our crops. What would be nice is if we had an upgraded watering can, so we can water our crops much faster, and it also wouldn't expend as much energy. But we'll worry about that a bit later. because I have other priorities at the moment besides upgrading my tools. Well, but that's good. We got our first harvest on our potato. What is nice is that we can actually harvest more than one potato. So what I want to do is... we'll save one of those, then we'll want to... yeah, we'll take these and we will put them in the community center. Also, it's nice if you hover over an item you need to donate to the community center, you can see the community center icon flashing in the corner there. That's nice. Alright, I got that taken care of. Our kale is growing very nicely. It should be grown very soon. Let's put this mixed seed down. Not 100% sure what that's going to grow into. I think that might be a parsnip. Alright, we'll drop a potato in there. So we got those two sent to the community center, and we got an artifact for gunfur. Are there any geodes we need? Yeah, we have 2 geodes. So I'm probably going to... actually, before we leave, let's grab this eel. Because we need to donate that as well. So I think for today, I'm going to go around to some of the different areas that we can fish from and see if we can fish up some things for the community center. Because that'll be very important going forward. We want to definitely have the community center filled up. Probably say this now, the community center quest is interesting because it's something that is rather difficult to complete on the first year. It's definitely possible depending on how things occur, but overall it's something that is very tricky to complete on your first year in Stardew, so I recommend not focusing too much on it and just trying to get it done just when you can. Definitely easier to complete once you're on your second year. Ooh, we got a reward from that rusty spoon. That gives us melon seeds. We're not going to be able to do anything with melons for the time being since they only grow in summer. So we'll hang on to those for later. Alright, Clint's open. So let's process these geodes and see if there's anything good in them. Nice! We got some good copper from that. So when it comes to the geodes, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure the item in the geode is determined the moment you pick up the geode, not when it's cracked open at Clint's. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that is how that works. Hey Vincent, it's your birthday! A birthday gift? That's very kind of you! I love it! So yeah, we don't have all of... I don't really know all of Vincent's liked items off the top of my head, but that does give us a substantial amount of friendship with him. Oh yeah, he's the character we're most friendly with. Yeah, that's one of his liked gifts, at least. So yeah, you can just see there just how much birthdays really matter when it comes to just boosting a character's as our relationship. So for Haley, we're probably not going to be streaming for too much longer, so it'll give me plenty of time to prepare for Haley's birthday. So I think we'll probably do this day and then one more day, and then we can call this session. As I want to make sure we have everything prepared for what we are going to be doing soon. So one of the things we definitely want to do is get started on some farm buildings. Alright, what we want to do is put the eel in the night fishing bundle. Alright, so we're going to need some money, so what we're gonna do is catch some fish to also expand the bundle. So, we are going to get started with some... Yeah, let's get started with some river fish. So I believe the only one of these we can get right now is the sunfish. So we can obtain these simply by fishing in the river, both in town and in the forest, which is the area where Marnie and Leia's houses are. So yep, just a nice opportunity to relax and try to fish up some much needed stuff. So I don't think I've shown it off yet, but when you're fishing, there is a chance that you will see... Ooh, we got the sunfish already, that's good. But there is a chance that you can find treasure while you're fishing, and those can give you some very good items. Alright, so what can we get now? Got the sunfish, so... Can't get any of the specialty fish yet. I think we could go for the sardine now. Well, it's nice you can check the collection to see, like, all the things you need. Yeah, we've already caught a sardine, so we can definitely grab that. We don't have any of those others. Some of the other fish are going to require a bit more work to get, but we'll save that for later. Yeah, we'll try to get a sardine now. What's some other stuff we could talk about? I guess kind of going on my discussion about channels I've been watching lately, so... I've definitely said this in other stream sessions in the past, but I am a huge fan of South Park. Like, easily one of my favorite animated shows, and wow, we got that sardine, like, right away. What is my luck? And it has been just pretty fun getting to revisit it just by watching some out-of-context clips on YouTube. It's been really fun. It's a show that I had a lot of respect for back in the day, and going back to revisit a lot of these clips just gives me so much more appreciation for this show and what it does, with all of its satire and parody. God, it is just such a creative show. Definitely not for everyone, given its style of humor, but man, I cannot get enough of South Park. Which is also something that is interesting, is that there have been several South Park games in recent years that I have personally been very interested in streaming at some point. Definitely not this year, but maybe sometime in 2022, I'll give streaming South Park a shot. I definitely feel like it'd be nice to invest in that. Especially because I definitely like the South Park games. I don't know. It's just something about playing in games licensed by Ubisoft that is just kind of weird right now. I'm not really going to go into why, it's just some stuff I don't particularly care for and I don't want to talk about. Ooh, we got a chub. So don't think we need the chub for one of our bundles. I might double check that. There's a bullhead. We definitely need that for a bundle. Yeah, that is good. I think I need some other stuff around here. Yeah, looks like we don't need the shove or anything. Just a normal fish. Pretty good, though. As I said before, fishing is one of the most lucrative ways to make money in the early stages of the game. Eventually, there'll come a point where farming is obviously going to be the most substantial way to make money. But for the time being, just fishing is pretty much the best way. You can easily get a ton of fish in a single day, and depending on the time you're fishing, and especially the month, you can get some really good high-priced fish. I'll definitely go into this more as the seasons progress, because it's definitely going to be a very lengthy series. Ooh, we grabbed a carp. That is also something we need on our bundles. Alright, I'll put the ones we need for bundles, like, down there. Just so we have it readily available to us. Okay, the last thing I think we can get up here is the largemouth bass. So I actually forget if this is a fish we can get right now. I will try, but I don't know. Part of me is thinking that we can't get it right now. It's definitely something I want to look up for future streams, so I have a good idea on the various things we need. Especially because a lot of these fish can only be caught in certain seasons, so you need to watch out for specific ones. Not only that, but the weather can also affect when you're able to catch certain fish. Oh, there it is. We got the largemouth bass. So with that, there's only one thing we still need for the lake. Sadly, we're not going to be able to get that one this season, but I'm very happy with what we managed to catch. So what we're able to do, I don't think we can get these until later. And for ocean fish, I think these require being in other seasons. We can't get the specialty fish yet. And pretty much caught everything we can get in the river for the time being. Alright, but that's good. Let's go deposit these fish in the bundles. And then I think we'll head into the mine so that we can get more stone. It's definitely something we're going to need going forward is stone for the various recipes we need. Let's put the sunfish there. The sardine can go there. And for the lake, these are going to require a bit more work. Might as well eat this algae to get some more energy. I really have no use for that right now. So I guess some other stuff to talk about. Yeah, once we get up into the mountain, actually, we'll save that discussion for a bit later. Hey, Robin, want a flower? Thank you, this might come in handy. Alright, she likes daffodil, that's good. Alright, we'll head to floor 15. Oh, it's nice. So, these are grubs. You kill these guys very quickly. Well, you'll want to kill them quickly, because if you don't, they will pupate, and then turn into flies. These guys can be a bit interesting to deal with, but I actually like running into the grubs because they drop a lot of bug meat if you're able to kill them in a big group. So around here in floor 15 is what I consider the best area if you're looking to farm bug meat. Because this is a very good resource that is very important for fishing. If you're looking to just maximize your output when it comes to fishing, definitely grab as much bug meat as you can. It is very, very imperative. Alright, we know the stairs are over there, so we don't need to worry about mining a whole lot of stone here. We will break a couple rocks open because I do need stone. Uh-oh. So sometimes when you're down in the caves, you'll suddenly see this smoke pour in. So these caves are now in a dangerous state where enemies will spawn in very frequently. And what you have to do is just attack these guys until the smoke clears away. It's gonna be a bit tricky because if you just get overwhelmed by these guys, they can do a lot of damage to you. Luckily, I'm not really low on health right now, but it can be a bit of a pain. Alright, the smoke cleared, so we don't have to worry about that. At least I drop a lot of bug meat from these guys, which is good. Just go away. Yeah, it probably goes without saying, but a lot of the flying enemies in these caves tend to be the worst enemies you can run into. I say that and we get a frickin' room that's swarming with monsters. That's great. So current equipment really isn't that good for combating these guys. And it is actually getting pretty late here, so we'll probably want to wrap this up very soon. Oh, those guys. So got some blue slime there. Those are more deadly than the green slime. I'm actually going to leave. And those guys actually gave me quite a beating. Didn't really grab a lot of resources there, but that's fine. It was getting pretty late into this day. I want to head back and make sure we have everything prepped for what's going to be happening. See, I would be comfortable ending this session now, but I'm thinking we could probably do one more day. Yep, that seems like a good plan. Let's put away all of our resources here. We got a lot of stuff we can sell. And we'll put the melon seeds away for later. We're gonna need a bit more stone. Okay, I saw that. Gimme. Alright, leveled up our combat, so now we can make life elixirs. Those are an interesting item. It's gonna take a while before we're actually able to do anything with that. Because that's kind of a complex recipe. So the life elixir requires mushrooms. They can be pretty hard to get, so we're going to ignore that for now. Ooh. So yeah, the bug steak we got that recipe earlier. It gives us a bit of energy and health. Requires bug meat to make, but yeah, it can be useful when you're in the caves. Also got a sturdy ring there. That can should be really good. We could save that for later. Let's Thinking what we can do with our current recipes. Yeah, we're pretty fine to just do whatever now. So next weather report, gonna be sunny. And for living off the land, woes from crows? Sounds like you need a scarecrow. Placing a scarecrow on your farm deters crows from a pretty good distance. Make sure you protect your valuable crops. One more thing! Need a bigger backpack to hold all your stuff? Check your local general store. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting the next inventory upgrade. It's not going to be for a while, sadly. Ooh, but with that, we now have green beans. We need that for the bundle, but it's very nice. Missing. I lost my favorite axe. If you find it, please return ASAP. Having a tough time without it. There's 250 G in it for whoever finds the thing. So we got ourselves a main objective here. Robin has lost an axe, and we need to go find it. So I want to quickly show off with the green beans. This is a very nice resource because this particular crop, you'll notice, the plant did not go away after we picked it. This is an example of a replenishable crop, in which once we pick the green beans, in a few more days, we'll have more green beans available to us. That is really good. These are a very good plant to grab, and I highly recommend picking those when you can. So meanwhile, we got another crop here, kale. This waxy leaves are great in soups and stir-fry. Kale is pretty interesting compared to other crops because in order to harvest them, you need to use the scythe specifically. It's the only way you can harvest it. But yeah, it's an interesting crop. Definitely has a lot of good use. It's needed in a lot of recipes, which definitely gives it some nice utility. But it's also what I consider one of the best crops to grow in the springtime. Because kale sells for quite a bit of good money. And what's also nice is that they only grow in a few days. Like, I believe the grow time you need for them is 6. So, yeah, you were able to grow a lot of kale in a short amount of time, and they sell for good money. So, yeah, I recommend them a lot. So that tulip we picked, I'm probably going to save for later. So definitely know we haven't donated any tulips right now. Okay, yeah, we will need to sell them. How about we take some of these spring seeds and plant those down. Alright, we need to donate the green bean to the community center. And then I think I want to mainly focus this day on getting the last of the resources we need. So got some pretty good money here, but if we're going to get everything I needed, we're going to need a bit more. It's got another mission from Evelyn. She needs a cave carrot. We'll take that request. I don't think we're going to be able to complete it. Hi, Shane. What do you want? Leave me alone. Gee, you're friendly, man. Can't believe I married you in another game. Nah, it's okay, Shane. I know what happens in your story. Definitely has one of the more interesting stories compared to the other characters. Don't want to spoil too much what goes into it, but yeah, he's a fascinating character. And I might want to rest my mouth a bit because I just finished off the last of my apple juice. Ooh, nice, we get some mixed seeds here. So I'm thinking for the remainder of this day, we need to go retrieve Robin's axe, which I'll take care of that once we have finished things up on the farm. Because we got a lot of seeds that I want to plant. Hey, kitty. Oh, I've been getting some nice progress on those trees we planted, which is very nice. They'll be important for things going forward. because there's some nice resources that can be obtained by farming trees. Alright, so what I want to do is grab some spring seeds, and let's grab some sap as well. Alright, now we planted that. Let's clear up some space. Go away, tree. You do get a bit of wood by chopping down those small trees, but it's really not that helpful compared to the other things you're able to get. Alright, we are almost done here. Yeah, it is just insane the amount of seeds you get. And to think, all of these will eventually be good foraging items. So I know I haven't said it before, but the items obtained from foraging, you can grow them on the farm, but when you do pick them, they count for the foraging stat and not for farming, which is kind of interesting, all things considered. Just want to clear up some space there. We have pretty low energy, but we have some resources in order to make up for that. So quickly want to check here. We have all the wood we need. We need a lot more stone. We need like one more unit of clay we need. We have the copper we need. So yeah, we need some more stone, more clay, and more money, and then we'll have everything we need for the next big upgrade for the farm. Which would be nice. It'll be definitely good to have all that. Go ahead and clear out some of the stone on the farm that we don't need. So it'll give us some nice resources for us. While I'm doing this, I guess I could talk about some of the other stuff that's been going on. So, alongside this stream series, I've actually decided to pick up Stardew again on my Switch. Specifically my Switch Lite, just to give me a way to quickly tune back into this game in between streams, and just kind of try to develop another farm while I'm also developing this series, and try to see what I'm able to work on in both of them, which has been fairly nice. We've gone to do quite a bit in my other farm. So I've actually selected the forest farm instead of the standard one for my other file, which it's been nice to go through. It's been giving me a lot of good opportunities to get some things that I normally would not be able to get on this farm, which is nice. Very nice. I just need a bit more stone and we'll have everything we need. Well, almost everything we need. Definitely want to clarify that. There we go. We don't have enough time to get this geode processed. So I am happy to report that there are ways you can crack open geodes without having to go to Clint. which is definitely helpful because Clint's store isn't open a huge amount of time. But what is sad about that is that it's going to require things that we cannot get until really late in the game. So, yeah, we have that to worry about. It'll definitely take us a while. Alright, but the next thing I want to do... So we got all the stone we need. We gotta grab clay. Alright, how about we go and head into the mine? That will give us a good opportunity to... just give us a good opportunity to try to find some clay. Let's eat these field snacks, give us some more energy. I must say, it has been nice that things have been relatively smoother this session. I mean, we did disconnect a little bit into this, but everything should be good. It's definitely going to be an interesting series going forward, especially with how things have been on the technical level. Like, I know I don't have, like, the best setup for streaming, and I definitely like to improve that, because I've been looking forward to getting my, trying to get a new PC that would be very handy for me. Alright, managed to get the clay we needed. Can we grab any more? It's nice we're grabbing these cave carrots. These do give a lot of good energy. We got a geode from that. Alright, that's about what I wanted from this floor. Actually, give me your meat! Ooh, there's another Dougie. What's nice is that Dougies have a very low requirement for the monster killing requirements. Yeah, you only need to kill about 30 of them, so they're a pretty easy thing to get overall. We got a door scroll from that. Yeah, that is a scroll we already have. That's good. So I think we'll spend the rest of the day... fishing. I feel like that'd be a good use of our time just to grab a bit more money for the next session, because things are getting a bit late here, and I feel like it would be nice to just have all the resources ready so we'll be able to get these buildings up and running when the next session happens, which will probably be later this week. I definitely want to make it a goal of mine to have at least 2 streams a week, as I feel like that would be a good way just to help get through this series, like, at a fast pace, because things have definitely been pretty slow around here overall. This is a slow and methodical game to get through, and we technically don't have an ending to it. There is a plot, but it's not really too important. It's mainly just a background that's kind of gets you motivated to get started on the farming in general. Then it's up to you to, like, fill up the rest of the story by interacting with the various residents and expanding your farm in a lot of different ways. Alright, we got all the clay, stone, and wood we're gonna need. We got all the copper bars. Alright, so the last thing we need is money. So, to do that, we are going to go do some fishing. Again, I don't like to fish on the farm because it is not that great. Some of the other farms you can play, especially the seaside one, are definitely good for getting fish, because you can sometimes get some fish that you wouldn't normally be able to catch unless you go to other areas, which is very nice. Yeah, depending on which of the farms you select can really determine a lot of different things you can catch. It's all good. Oh shoot, I just remembered we had that mission from Robin to go find her axe. Jeez, what is with me today? Alright, so let's go find that axe. So, this mission is pretty interesting because it doesn't really give us a good clue as to where we have to find it. It just tells you that oh, Robin is missing her axe. Go find it. So it's a nice little scavenger hunt kind of thing where you have to just look around the map and see if you're able to find it. Luckily, this game is good in that it will not randomize the location of these kind of items. They will always be in set locations. So we're able to easily find it if you have already played through this game before. Where we need to go is right here. You found the lost axe. Better return it to Robin. It's pretty late into the day, so I don't know if we're going to be able to actually give it to Robin until the next session. I'll definitely keep it in my inventory in the top slot so that I'm reminded to do this by next time. So I'm thinking we might be able to catch Robin at the Star Drop Inn. She does tend to go there with her husband some nights, usually the weekends. But I have a strong feeling that she's not going to be here tonight. Nope. Some of the regulars are here, but none of the other important people. Alright, so we'll just head on home then. Kind of a shame I said I would be going fishing, and then we just completely got derailed by this mission that we can't even complete right now. Yeah, it's fine. This is still a very good mission to do. Oh yeah, Evelyn wanted a cave carrot. Oh shoot, the cave carrot was one of the things I put in there, didn't I? I found a bunch of those, and I was like, no wait, we have one here. Good. So I might put the cave carrot in my inventory so that I'm reminded about that for the next session. Alright, we will sell those, and yeah, that's pretty much everything that we need to do for tonight. Man, that was a very interesting session overall. Gave us a lot of good opportunities to expand the farm in subtle ways. We still have a long way to go, but we pretty much have all the resources we're going to need in order to get some very, very nice additions to the farm. So with that said, this is going to be where we are calling things for tonight. We made a very, very good amount of progress building up not only our money, but our resources for what we are going to do in the future. So, until next time... no, before I say that... so next time on Stardew Valley, we will be getting started on purchasing some new buildings to complement the farm, which will then allow us to invite over a couple new feathered residents for the farm. So until next time, have a good day and take care.